The Huawei is one of the biggest smartphone manufacturers in the world, second to the Samsung. It just crossed the Apple in recent years in terms of the sales. It makes various products from smartphones to laptops, tablets, and other electronic equipment. It's a big Chinese company and play a very important role in the smartphone market in Asia, especially in China, India, and Middle East, and Europe as well. So at the end of 2018, the US government signed an executive order banning the Huawei doing business in the US. The US government's e-commerce department put the Huawei in the entity list, meaning it's banned from doing any kind of business with the US companies. It was over the national security concerns and the alleged espionage by the Huawei and spying the US military and intelligence services. Recently, the ban has been extended to one more year, and that is the May 2021. It was a big upset for Huawei, and Huawei rejected such allegations and claimed many times that there was nothing from their side like that. It was expected that Huawei will lose a huge market share, and especially in terms of the smartphones, because it's banned from doing business with the Google and the Huawei. All the Huawei phones are running on Android. But yeah, that was not the case. The Huawei surprisingly sold more phones in 2019 than the 2018. It sold 35 million more phones in 2019 than the 2018. So it sold 240 million phones in 2019, and the Samsung sold 295 million phones, leading the smartphone market in 2019. That was just because the Chinese people came out in support of the Huawei, and they were on the streets at that time, and they were like promising that they will buy only the Huawei phones in support of the Huawei. So the Chinese smartphone market is a big market, and the Huawei is selling a huge number of phones in the Chinese market. The Huawei is not only banned from doing business with the Google using the Google services. The Huawei is not only facing challenges in the smartphone market, but yeah, it's also banned from doing business with other US companies like the Intel for their laptops, the Gorilla Glass, the flash storage, and other US companies which provide software for the machines in the production of the microprocessors. The Huawei is making its own processors, the high silicon Kirin. But in these circumstances, Huawei is seen more confident, and it recently announced its own operating system, the Harmony OS, which is called the Hongmeng in the Chinese market. And the Huawei is spending $3 billion more in 2020 for developing its ecosystem and its own app store. It's also said that the Huawei is recruiting the app developers from the Play Store to develop apps for the Huawei's app gallery. And it said it will not use the Google services if the US ban is lifted. And also the Google services are banned in China since 2010. And the Chinese internet ecosystem is very huge. It has almost all the alternate apps and websites and services to the all biggest apps and services around the world outside the China. So the Huawei is confident in making its own separate ecosystem for the smartphones and all the other products and the services. So I think it's like very difficult in a short period making a different operating system. There are the two biggest operating systems in the world, like the Android and the iOS, and other than that, it's very difficult replacing the entire smartphone market, the Huawei smartphone share, by a separate ecosystem. It needs more to be tested out and needs to be more refined over the years and years. But yeah, it's possible making a new system, a separate app store, and there are a lot of apps, there are a huge number of apps, and making a different ecosystem, interlinking the different products and apps. Yeah, it's possible, and it will be very great for Huawei in achieving this. But yeah, let's see what happens in the future. So I have this Huawei phone. They make pretty good smartphones, from budget smartphones to mid-ranges and to the flagships. So I have this Huawei phone with me, and I will be discussing this thing in my upcoming videos, so stay connected for that, and please be sure to subscribe and like if you like this video. See you in the next one.